What is going on, everyone? Parsnip here, and today we're back with the next episode of our Let's Build an Adventure map. And as always, guys, I would like to give a huge thanks to everyone who's been giving out these amazing suggestions. But let's get right towards the build. So on this episode, we're gonna go ahead and start something a little bit different. So one of you guys actually recommended to make something below the ocean, meaning a cave or something along those lines, and I really like that idea, as the ocean biome is incredibly boring after you go there to either fish or to wake up the angler, find the angler. No one really goes to the edge of the map anymore. Therefore, I decided to put something a little bit more fun so you guys can go ahead and explore, discover, find some new items and things like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a brand new ocean biome that will be below the ocean. Now here, guys, the traps are going to be super simple. It's something that I want you guys to like explore early on, you know, when you guys want to find the angler or you're just taking a look around the world. If you go ahead for the underground water chests that are always there, you guys might stumble across this biome. Now the only traps that you guys will find around here, and you'll see me place them in a little bit, is pretty much mob spawners, and there are a lot of them. So be sure to be wary, as well as you might want to have a bucket or two when you come down here, as there's really no place to breathe. So you guys are going to have to figure that out. Clearly you won't be able to explore this entire section without a means of air. And if you start digging too much around here, there's not that much room to make air bubbles. So you guys can pretty much see me here making the structure of the biome pretty much, as well as adding some of these random backgrounds for the wallpaper pretty much, or for the walls. But yeah, I go ahead and use waterfall blocks, blue gem spark blocks, some jelly blocks, and some ice brick blocks, just to make this really cool and unique, like, well, atmosphere, I guess you guys could go ahead and put it. I think this fits really well to be deep underground. It ends up being like really dark, deep blue underground. You guys will go ahead and see a screenshot of this later on in the video. You know, right now when it's like without fully backgrounds and stuff, it looks really bright and stuff, but it actually is in fact super dark, even with the gem spark blocks. So when you come down here, you probably will notice that the jellyfishes that you do spawn, because they are with player sensors, are actually pretty hard to find. Next up, I go ahead and decide that what I'm gonna pretty much want for the blocks. So you'll notice that I use stucco blocks and hardened sand to hold up the normal sand, and only this section below here is where you guys will see a big pile of hardened sand. I wanted to avoid as much of this again, so you guys won't be able to make air bubbles easily. So I decided to fill the rest of it pretty much with sand. That way the sand will not fall down, but if you do break a block, a ton of sand will fall down on top of you, either closing the cave or getting in your way. Pretty much. So again, so you guys have a little bit of a challenge when you do come down here. You have to like make sure to decide what you want. And here you guys can see what I was talking about before with the jellyfish statue. So you'll notice that throughout this whole section there's gonna be quite a few of these. I did want to put some shark ones, but for whatever reason they were either not spawning, as well as I think multiple shark statues or spawners would be a little bit too hard for the rewards of this section pretty much. So meaning that I did already put the rewards here, guys, and I won't be telling you what it is, but let me make this as clear as I possibly can. I will be rewarding it caves, chests, and things like that that are hidden in structures and around that type of theme are gonna be rewards based on how hard it is to get. So if I do think that a place is really easy to discover, to go through, there's not a lot of traps and stuff, you can expect the rewards to be very poor. So chests that you guys will find in structures above ground, don't expect anything good. At tops, an accessory or two that may help you out, but nothing out of this world. Again, like I always say, guys, I do want to keep this as similar as I can to the normal Terraria. So here you guys could go ahead and see me putting the chest, adding some decorations, a ton of corals, a ton of stars, just a little bit of details so that the overall build looks pretty cool. Next up, you guys will notice that I start adding water. So the reason why I add water instead of just breaking the section of the cave, like how I covered up the entrance, the reason why I don't just fill it with ocean water is because since this cave is really shaped oddly, there's gonna be a lot of room that's gonna have bubbles. So I did want to make sure that every single section of this place is filled with water. So when you do come here, you don't just stumble upon easy sections for you guys to get air. Again, I want this to impose a little bit of a challenge, you know, just so that you guys could have a little bit of fun and get some new rewards. So here you can also see me adding the player centers. Now whenever you step on these player centers, a bunch of jellyfish statues will spawn jellyfishes. There's a total of 3 player sensors, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I put 4 jellyfish spawners. So make sure you do have some sort of decent sword or way to get past the jellyfish, be it by bombs or something along those lines. You'll also notice that I did make this a little bit more difficult by adding those the candles. I forgot what they're called, but it's the candles that spawn more mobs pretty much. So you'll notice that there's a lot more normal jellyfishes and things like that as well on this ocean biome. So though I did say I want to make this early on, it won't be that easy to go through the whole section. Again, a little bit of challenge is also nice, but since it's only jellyfishes, guys, I'm sure after you guys get some sort of gear or upgrade your sword once, you'll have more than enough means to go down there and open those chests. So next up, like I said in the previous episode, I did want to keep making a bunch of random and broken structures on the ground, maybe some lost castles, some temples, some miners' caves and things like that. On this episode, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 bigger ones. Again, I don't want to fill up the map completely. I want you guys to normally play Terraria and just happen to stumble upon 1 or 2 cooler things than you'll normally find in the game. So here you guys can go ahead and see me make a underground castle or fort, whatever this was. Again, I always like to make a theme for these, so I'm gonna put a couple of these around. I'm gonna assume there was an army, like a purplish army, maybe obsidian theme, that used to live here, used to make bases down below. So I do plan to add a couple of more. These would be like their little forts, their safe zones, or maybe an area that was filled with treasures, because here you notice on the sides that there are some caves filled with gems and stuff like that. And again, I will be adding a little bit of rewards. Again, since this is just one of those things that you just happen to stumble across, there's not really anything that bad here, no challenges or anything of the sort. The rewards aren't going to be great, but again, it's something that when you are exploring, guys, you're like, whoa, what is this awesome purple structure here? Maybe I could go ahead and set up a temporary base here. Maybe I could just remodel the whole thing and make this into my main base since I like the way it looks, and so on. So you'll notice a couple of these purple castles throughout all of the purple forts. Let's make them forts since they are so small and I don't think they should be called castles. So that was the first one, guys. It's pretty abandoned, full of lava, broken, and things like that. Here you'll notice that I go ahead and start making the second one. Now I will leave these holes empty for now. By holes I mean these miniature elevators that I made, and later when I do come back, I'm gonna go ahead and fill them up. I noticed that if I decide to waste time every single time filling these up, I'm gonna take forever. Instead, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the already existing hose to go ahead and make more, or discover more caves, and just go from there and make more stuff. So here you'll notice that the structure looks pretty solid, not as broken as the last one, but I will be fixing this, guys. Again, I do want these, except on certain cases, I do want most of them to be abandoned and broken and things like that. Assuming that you won't find any NPCs or stuff here, I want it to look like no one's been here, pretty much. So I do start off making it pretty solid, and then I go back and decide to break more blocks, add some more details and things along those lines. I do also like to add a little bit of furniture and things like maybe some platforms, more details in here, so that it does look like it served a purpose before and it's not just something that's completely empty. Again, following the same fort theme that I was talking about, I do want like another 2 or 3 of these all around the map, so it looks like there was an army or some sort of civilization. I might actually make this into some sort of story, maybe make it a bigger one down in hell or something along the line of better treasures, but I do want these to be like some sort of theme. and not just completely random. So I may add a sign or two around, making some sort of backstory or something so you guys can read and discover. So that's pretty much it, guys. I go ahead and use even stone bricks, if I'm not mistaken, obsidian, and I forgot what the last one is called. I always forget what the last one is called. I think it's iridescent. Not sure how to pronounce it, but it's the purple bricks, guys. And that's pretty much it. I also use spooky wood for the walls. So again, guys, thank you as always for watching, for the amazing suggestion, and for just overall the support. So thank you all for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all next time.